Hi everyone, this is Patrick and welcome to another of our Clarity Media puzzle solving videos. So today what I've got is a Sudoku X, which is essentially a normal Sudoku with one additional rule. Now, just in case you haven't played Sudoku before, I'll highlight the rules of that as well. So you place the number, a single number 1 to 9 in every row or column. So there has to be a 1 somewhere in this row, but only 1. There has to be a row somewhere in this, a 1 somewhere in this column, but only 1. If that will make sense. And also in these boxes, these 3x3 boxes, numbers also can't repeat. So this 3 here, there can't be a 3 anywhere else in the box. So that's the standard Sudoku rule set, which you probably know. The addition in Sudoku X is this shaded cross. And that is another region, essentially, or two regions, essentially, two diagonals crossing, and no numbers can repeat in the diagonals as well. So obviously you can, let's say you could have a 4 here and a 4 there, but you couldn't have, two 4s in the same diagonal. And this does make it a little bit easier because it's essentially a normal Sudoku with one additional thing to help you out. So without further ado, I'll jump in. I might have to pause if I do get stumped, but I'm hoping I won't have to. But first things first, what do we see? So the 1 here and the 1 there means that the 1 must be in one of these 3. Okay, looking for those clusters of numbers. The 7, not 7, what have I had? 6 perhaps? So we can't have a 6 there, we can't have a 6 there, we can't have a 6 there. Well, that's the 6 has to go in the top corner, I believe. Yeah. And that means, therefore, the 6 has to go in one of these 2, small. Don't know for certain yet. And then down here, the 6 has to go in one of these 2. The 4. No 4 there. 7s, maybe 1s. Perhaps 9s. 9s is, I think, the easiest way to get into this, actually, because there's 2 nicely placed here. So we can tell for sure there's a 9 there. And that then means 3 has to be in one of these 2. 5, 6 we have. 7 has to go here. 8 has to go here, and then 3 has to go. So we already filled in one block. Excellent. Can we now use this block to fill in others? Well, we know that what haven't we got? We haven't got a 6 in the bottom, so the 6 we know is one of these 2. Have we got a 5? No. No, the 5 can't be there or there. The 5 has to be one of these 3. Have we got a 4? No, the 4 can't go here or here. The 4 has to be one of these 2. And then we haven't got a 2 either, of course not. So no 2 there, no 2 there. So 2s are in one of these. Okay, so nothing quite for certain yet. But we'll get there. Just need to keep filling in the information. So no 8 in the top, no 8 here. The 8 has to go here because of these 8s. Which means we can place some small 8s here, 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 here. Not there. Only here or here. The 3 numbers here we know are 2, 4 and 5. 4 can't go there, so the 4 has to be one of these 2. One, 2, can the 2 go in the middle? Possibly it could. It can't go there, can't see. The 2 is either one of those. 4 can go in the middle, can't go there, can go there. What's the missing? 5. 5 can go in the middle, can go there, can go there. And I think those are the 3 numbers, yes, 6 and 7 are there. You think, well, how I should approach this next. 3 cuts that off, cuts that, has to be 3. That's the answer. Put a 3 here, and then 6 can only go here from what I can see, because that's now cut off the other square, yep. Which means if the 6 can only go there, the 2 can only go there, the 5 can only go there, and the 4 can only go there, nice. There's a 2 and a 5 there, which means this has to be a 4. So we've got our first, actually we have one here already, I hadn't noticed, but we've started to fill out the cross, and that helps a lot. So now I know this 4 is in the very centre. It really commands the board, almost like a chess queen. And that means I can immediately eliminate that 4, which allows me to say that's the 4. I can also say, well, the 4 has to go here as well, because it can't be in the grid. Can't go anywhere along here, so it has to be in either that one or that one. Or maybe that one? Yes, I think that one as well. As for in this bit, it doesn't help us out as much, but we can still say it has to be one of those 3. So good progress, I think. Like I say, it's actually a bit easier than normal Sudoku. Let's try and fill out this top left block. The 1 could go anywhere. 2 has to go along the top, but it can't go in this top one because of this 2. The 5 has to go on the top as well. The 6, there is a 6. The 8, there is an 8. 7, 8. Yep, the 9. Again, the 9 go anywhere. Okay. So what this tells me, I think, is that the 9 is the only one which can go in the bottom now to 2, 5. Oh, I'm missing one. Sorry, 2, 5, 9, 1. I have 1. Okay, I jumped the gun a bit. I did. But let's look at this 8. I know there's no other 8 in this diagonal, which means there can't be an 8 here or here. And I already know there can't be one here, so we're down to these 2 possibles for the 8. I also know an 8 has to be in one of these. This square, I think. Because it... Oh no, it's not. I've just put 2 8s in one box. Okay, don't follow that. Don't do that. That was certainly a mistake. I'm glad I caught it. But the 8 probably goes here, here, or here. Yep. Let's see. We need to crack another grid, I think. You can see the 5 has to be in the top row, which means we know there can't be a 5 in any of those. We know, therefore, a 5 has to go in either of these 2. The 2, likewise, must be in one of these 2, which means there's no 2 in any of these either. And it has to, again, be in one of these 2. Let me see. A good thing to do is to look at where they sort of intersect. Look for 8s. I surely must be able to find the 8 in the centre by now. So I know it can't be any of those. So it has to be one of these 2. What about the 5? So the 5 can't be here. It has to be one of these 3. No, maybe this is a better spot actually. So we know the 4 can't be any of those, and we know the 8 can't be any of those, but we have those already. So we're looking for the 1. The 1 is in one of these 3. 2 has to be up here. The 3 is there already. The 5 has to be one of these. I might pause for a second and just consider this a little bit longer so you don't have to watch me hum and hum for a while, but I will rejoin you shortly. Okay, I'm back, and it looks like the next step was actually a bit more obvious than I thought. So all I have to do is notice that, well, I put 2 small 4s in, but that 4 prevents that 4 from being there, so there's a big 4 here. And does this help us at all? Well, surely we can get the 4 here. I just put 2 4s in the same column. Don't do that. Again, 4 is here, which means no 4 here, no 4 here, no 4 here. It has to be in one of these small corners. Great. And I think we have almost every format except for this one. But again, that is unfortunately limited to this well, yeah, just these two squares in that one. Let me see where my next move could be, maybe to place 2. There's a fair number of 2s currently. Because I've got 2 marked there, but this 2 makes it impossible, so I'm sorry for that mistake. The 2 has to go here instead. And then the 2 is now in the diagonal, that's very good. We know it can't be here or here. We know therefore the small 2 has to go in one of these. 1 is at the bottom, we know that. 2 we have, 3, 5, again is at the bottom. 6 could go anywhere, 7 could go anywhere, 8 is there, 9 has to be at the top. So we know for a certainty 9 is at the top, which means it can't be in either of these. So 9 is limited to these 3. This has got to be crackable, surely. Got to be some way to advance. Perhaps if I were to look at it's got to be those 4. Okay, so I can remove that 4 at least. I should be going through removing any excess notation, because that can then confuse you later if you're not careful. So those 4s are gone. 2, 8, 3 could be, so 3 has to be in one of these 3 squares. 4 is already there. 5 again has to be along here. 6 is already there. 7 could be, 7 has to be on this side. 8 is not there, which means 8 is also along this side, but not on the diagonal. Okay, so I think I filled that out fully. Is there one anywhere? So I think if I've done this correctly, 7 has to go in the bottom corner. Because the 1 can't go there. The 2, could the 2 go there? The 2 can't go there because of this. The 3 can't go there because of this. The 4 can't go there. 5 can't go there because of this. 6 can't go there. 8 can't go there because of this. And 9 is already there. So this has to be a 7. Excellent. So when in doubt, just fill in every possibility. So that being the 7 means I can remove these 7s from the notation. And I can place, what can I do? What can I do? Let's think. We've got the 7 in our diagonal now, which means we know it has to be one of these 2. Why? No, there is a 7 there, so we know it has to be. Doesn't really help us a huge amount. Could be that, or that. Unfortunately, sometimes you want to make a big breakthrough, you don't get it. You know the 2 and the 8 are either or here. 1, 5 or 3, 1, 5 or 3. Where's our next step? So if I've got this correct, the 9 can only go there as well. So is that so? The 1 can't go there because of that 1. The 2 can't go there. The 3 can't go there. The 4 can't go there. The 5 can't go there. The 6, though, the 6 might be able to go there. It looks to me like the 6 can go there. Likewise for the 7, but not the 8. Where's our next? Okay, I stalled a little bit, but I think I made a breakthrough. Hopefully this will be the start of a good run. So there can only be a 5 in this square, and there can only be a 2 in this square. So let's put those in. 2 is cut off. This prevents it from going anywhere else, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think that's right. So the 2 goes there and the 5 goes there, which means we should be able to make some further moves. So a 5 can't go anywhere in the middle. But we've got the 5 in the diagonal now, which means it can't go there or there. So I can remove it from here. Can't go there or there. It's only in either one of these two, so not quite there, annoyingly. The 2, does this help us out? Does this help? Well, no, 2 can't go here, 2 can't go here. So the 2 is limited to any of these 3 squares. Which means, well, it's essentially to me whichever one this isn't. But this 5 diagonal must help a bit more, surely. So the 5 could go in either of these. We still know that. 5 can't go there. The 5 can't go there. The 5 is limited again to these 2 squares. Okay, so what now? I have paused just for a moment and I've removed some of the notation because I thought it was getting in the way. And sometimes it can be outdated. It helps to go back and either remove it or check it periodically. But I think this is now a moment because I can see that a 3 has to go here because there must be a 3 in the diagonal and it can't be in either of these boxes because of these 3s. Likewise, there must be a 5 beneath it because there's got to be a 5 in this box. The 5 in the diagonal prevents these 2, the 5 here prevents these 2. And there's also got to be a 1, because the 1 can't go here or here, so we have to put it here. Now, where do the 2 and 8 go? Well, there has to be a 2 in the diagonal. There can't be a 2 in either of these squares. There can't be a 2 in any of these squares because of this 2. So the 2 is here, the 8 is there. So we finished the middle block. Excellent. Now, keep looking at diagonals, that's where you're going to make your breakthroughs. And I can see, well, can't be an 8 here or here because the 8 is already there. Can't be an 8 here, can't be an 8 here because of these 8s. So our 8 goes in the bottom here. What else are we missing from the diagonal? I think we're missing a 6. Where can the 6 go? Where can the 6 go? Well, it can't go in either of these 2 because of the presence of these 6s. So it has to go in either of these, but then this one's blocked off by the 6 there, so it has to go here. And now we're also missing what 1, 2 we have. We need a 3. The 3 can't go here because it's blocked off by this 3. It can't go here because it's blocked off by the same. So it goes here. And our 9 could go in either of these 6. So it could go here or it could go here. And the same goes for what's the other number we're missing. I think we're missing a 7. So the 7, 9 could be either currently, except that if you check here, you see, well, oh, the 7 can't go there. So the 9, by process of elimination, has to go here. The 7 has to go there. So we've completed that diagonal. Can we complete the other one? I hope we can soon. Because our next move, let me take a swig of tea and think. Our next move is to look for a 6 maybe. The 6 has to go in one of these 2. Can't go here because of that 6. So the 6 is here. And then that means what's missing? 1 is missing. 1 could go in either of these 2 at the moment. But the 9, again, where could the 9 go? Could go in any, I think, unless I'm making some. So the 9 could go in these bonds as well, but the diagonal shows us that it's cut off here. Is it? Yes, so the 9 can't go in either of these 2. The 9 has to go in the diagonal. But before I'm faffing around with all this, let's actually put this in because that's an easy gimme. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's missing? It's a 3, isn't it? Yeah, it's a 3, I think. Yes. And that means to finish this row as well, we need a 1. The 1 can't go there, so the 1 has to go in either of these 2. And we need a 9. I don't know if there's any way to determine it just yet. Let me think. There's got to be a way, I'm certain of it. Because I know my 9 is reduced to either of these two squares. Unless there's something else in play. So that's 1 or 9. That's 1 or 9. That's 1 or 9, I think. There must be some way to break this impasse. Let me think. There's got to be something I can do to break this. So I feel like I'm really just on the cusp of it. No, 9 can't go there. It's a case of 1 or 9. Well, 1 or 9. Maybe I'll have to come back to this one. But so I think the way actually to solve this isn't to just bang your head against the 1 and the 9 and hope something comes up. What you should do is you should say, well, actually, this is quite limited now, the 9 and the 1, etc. Are there any other numbers we can get? And as it turns out, there is. The 5 can't go here or here, can't go here. So the 5 goes there. And what that means is that then we can figure out that the 1 has to go here, which means the 9 has to go here, which means the 9 has to go here, which means the 1 has to go there. So just like that, there's almost a cascade of solving. And then there's only one number left in this diagonal. It isn't the 9 or 1, despite my notation. It must be a 5. Excellent. And here that can't be a 9, so it can't be a 1. What's missing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it a 6? I don't know. But we should be able to work out these two. The 2 is somewhere. And the other one is the 9. Well, the 9 can't go there because of this 9. So that's the 9, that's the 2. What's left in this box? A 1 and a 3. Well, the 1 can't go there because of this 1. So that's the 1, that's the 3. Yes, I think I'm all on track. Which means here, what's this? It's got to be not a 9. It's got to be 1. Not a 1, it's got to be either a 4 or a 7, I think. Well, the 4's there. No, the 4 is here. Not the 4, so it's either a 6 or a 7. Does that... Are we getting anywhere? So there's already a 6, beg your pardon. So because there's already a 6, this must be a 7. That must be a 6. I think that's completed that row. Excellent. And now hopefully I can just continue and finally bash out this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 here as well. And where's the 1? The 1 can't be there because of this 1. So the 1 goes there. And the final one to finish this row is a 5, I think. Yes, it's a 5. Okay, so what you'll notice is that actually the using the cross solve, and perhaps I could have used it a bit more efficiently, but using the cross solve, we end up with a sort of an eye shape or a cross shaped finished grid. And these two we haven't got any at all. And I think that is something that often happens with cross Sudokus. And now I don't have the cross at all to rely on, but I should be able to use the other numbers to work out which goes which. So if I start off, where's the 1? I'll just put notation in for each of these grids, and hopefully that'll let me make a breakthrough. So the 1 can't go in either of these. If I'm seeing this correctly, it can only go here or here. The 2, on the other hand, can only go here or here. The 3 can only go here and here. The 4 is here or here. The 5 is here and here. The 6 is, that's a 6, I think potential 6, that's a potential 6. 7 can't be in that row, can't be in that row. Got to be one of these two. The 8 must be not there, not there, not there, there or there, and that's the 9. Not in the top, not there, just one of these two. So I don't think I can make a deduction from that just yet because every one has at least 2 numbers in. If I now do the same here, I can see, well, 1 can't go in this or this, 1 has to go here or here, 2 has to go here or here, 3 has to go here or here, 4 has to go here or here, 5 has to go not in the centre, not there, there or there, 6 not there, not there, has to be there or there, 7 not in the centre, not there, there or there, 8 not there, not there, not there, not there. Okay, just like that. And lastly 9, like so. I think, deep breath, quite a lot of minutiae to take into account. I think I've done it all correctly, and this then says, well, look, 6 can only go in the middle. No other number can go in the middle. So that's a 6. And then I can see, so this is 6 or 9. Can't be a 6, so it's got to be a 9. This is 4 or 9. Can't be a 9, so it has to be a 4. This is 4 or 8. Has to be an 8. 2 or 8 has to be a 2. 2 or 7 has to be a 7. 7 or 8 has to be an 8. Moving on. What's now to deduce? 4 or 6 can't be a 4, has to be a 6. This can't be 4, it has 4, 6 or 8. 6 and 8 are both accounted for, so that has to be a 4. 7, where's our 7? 7 now, 7 can't go there, I shouldn't put that in the first. Oh no, yes, 7, that 7 is preventing that one. So that's down to 2 or 3, it means 7 has to go here. And then 1, 5, 9, well that's the 1 because the 9 is now accounted for, which means that is the 5, that's the 9, and that's the 1. This is a 3, this is a 5, and then 2 or 3, well there's a 3 here already, so that's your 2 and that's your 3. I think that's it. Let me check. So this won't pop on your screen, but there will be a pop-up when if you solve it online which says congratulations or ones are incorrect, and it's telling me congratulations. So I've completed it. Wow. And what you saw there is I have to admit I did struggle quite a bit, especially at the start, and especially before I started properly using the cross to solve. You have to really keep referencing the diagonal. You can't just treat it as a normal Sudoku. You won't solve it unless you also use a diagonal rule. But you saw that as soon as I had that sort of eye shape, the rest just quickly fell into place. So satisfying, maybe a little bit challenging. If you want to try and see if you can beat my record, honestly I think you probably will be able to. This wasn't the fastest solve. Then please do look into the description, find the link, it'll be there. But other than that, please join me another time for another puzzle which will hopefully be solved a little more effectively. Right, bye.